guys, welcome back to another video of Welding the Broken. If you're new, my name is Carla and I'm really excited to share what God showed me this week with you guys. For those of you who know me, you probably know that I went to culinary school a few years back. It was a 9-month program that consisted of lots of different modules. I can't remember if it was 9 or 10 or more or less, but each module we focused on a specific type of food. We learned different types of techniques. We had one just for cookies, for cakes. We had one on meats, on poultry, seafood. But my all-time favorite one, the one that I was looking forward to since day one of the program, was breakfast. Before the mod actually started, I had made it very clear to Chef and to everybody in the class that my favorite food was crepes. I love crepes. I could eat crepes all day, every day, and so I let them know, and Chef had told me that we would be making crepes for the breakfast mod. So I was looking forward to it. I think this breakfast mod that we did was probably the only one that I showed up on time, if not early, every single day. And for those of you who know me, you know that's kind of hard to do for me, but that's how much I loved it. So I was looking forward to it. And then, so the first day I told the chef, you know, like, I'm ready, like, to start making these crepes, right? I was really excited. And he goes, no, before you can make the crepes, you need to pass some tests. First, you need to know how to flip eggs. You need to become a master at flipping eggs. So I thought, it's probably not gonna be that hard, you know, just an egg or two, I can flip them in my sleep. But he said before we even touch the eggs, we need to be able to flip a handful of rice in an egg pan 100 times without dropping a single grain of rice. Long story short, it took me about 3 to 4 days just to be able to flip the rice 100 times without dropping any. So once I passed the rice test, I moved on to eggs, and every egg I flipped the entire first day kept breaking. So I sat there, I stood there flipping eggs until I finally passed the test. So the mod started on Monday, and then all the way until Thursday, I finally passed my egg test. And so I went up to Chef, I said, hey, I passed all my tests. When can I start making the crepes now? So he comes up to me and he goes, we don't have time to make crepes today anymore. You can make them tomorrow, Friday. So there I was, you know, frustrated already because all I wanted to do was make these crepes because I've been looking forward to them for such a long time. I came back to school on Friday, excited as always, you know. First thing I did, go up to Chef, hey, when can I start making these crepes? And then he says, you know what, go ahead and make the batter and then come back to me when you're finished. So before I got to school that day, I had a list of the ingredients I needed, the recipe that I wanted to follow to make the crepes. But when I told him, he had actually given me a recipe to follow. It wasn't exactly the one that I wanted to do, but it was the one he gave me. So I went to the kitchen and I made the crepes exactly the way that he had told me to. So I finished, and then I finally reported back to him, telling him, you know what, I'm done with the batter. I'm ready to, I have my place on the stove, I have my batter, I'm ready to make these crepes. So then he goes, oh, go ahead and put the batter in a container and then date it and store it in the fridge. And we're gonna have to come back to it on Monday because we need to clean the kitchen today. So by this point, I was really frustrated because you guys don't understand, okay, crepes are my thing. And so I was really frustrated because I had the batter in my hands already. It was done. I had passed all the tests that I needed to pass. I had my place on the stove already, like I was ready to go. But he said we had to wait until Monday. So I was already irritated and annoyed. So whatever, I cleaned the kitchen, and then Monday came, and I finally was ready to have my crepes. The batter had been in there, and then it turns out, for one reason or another, I can't really remember if it was bookwork, or we had to take a test, or lecture, I don't know. But I just remember we didn't go into the kitchen at all that day on Monday. So we had to wait until Tuesday. So by the time it was Tuesday, I was not even excited anymore because all I thought was, oh, somebody must have already thrown it away. The batter's been sitting in there for days now. Like, it's gonna be bad. It probably won't even be there anymore. I'm not even gonna bother asking. If all I'm doing is asking and then I keep getting shut down, I'm not even gonna ask anymore. So Tuesday came, I didn't ask, I just sat there annoyed, and then chef came up to me, he's like, are you ready to make the crepes today? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that batter's been away for so long now. We were supposed to make it a long time ago. So he goes, no, go in there and make the crepes. So I walked to the kitchen in a bad mood, you know, because I'm thinking this isn't even gonna, batter's not even gonna be good. So I open the fridge, I take out the container, I put the container down, and I stormed back into the classroom, and I told the chef, are you kidding me right now? The batter was all black and lumpy, and the oil had separated from the rest of the ingredients. It looked very nasty and gross. So the chef said, don't worry about it, you know, just give it a little stir and go make the crepes, because I was gonna be in charge of making them for everybody. But inside I'm thinking, how can you expect me to make crepes and feed everybody crepes made from this nasty looking batter that's been sitting there for I don't know how many days now? And he said, stir it up and go make the crepes. So I walked back into the kitchen, irritated, in a bad mood, and I gave it a little stir like he said. I made the crepes, and let me tell you guys, they were probably the most delicious crepes I've ever had in my entire life. So I walked back into the classroom with my head down, kind of like, oh my God, I just yelled at chef, and they're actually pretty good. So the chef told me, you see, and he said something that at that moment I thought was only about the crepes, but it turned out to be something bigger. He said that the more patient you are and the longer you let the batter sit in the fridge, the tastier the crepes are gonna be in the end. So like I said, in that moment, I kind of just thought of it as a situation that I just learned in that mod, but in reality, it's something much more, because what I know now is that this is how it is all the time. How many times have you guys asked God for something that you haven't received yet? And you can think to yourself, but I've done everything right. I've passed all my tests. I've followed all the directions. You know, I had my own recipe and I put it to the side and I followed the chef's recipe, okay? Sometimes we have our own plan and we push it to the side and we follow God's plan the way that he wants, and we still don't have what we've been praying for. And we can feel frustrated, and we can feel like sometimes just God is just messing with us and he's making us think that he's gonna give it to us, but he's not. And what I wanna tell you guys today is that the plans that you might have are not the plans that God has, because what he's telling you today in this video and with my illustration is that the longer you wait and the more patient you are and the more you learn to trust in God and not yourself, the greater your blessing will be when you finally receive it. In Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8 and 9, it says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So what he's basically trying to tell us is that yes, you probably have your batter. Yes, everything's probably lining up so you can finally receive your blessing. But if you just wait and let God give it to you, and just, you know, follow exactly what God says, even if sometimes it doesn't make sense, then your blessing is going to be even greater than what you were hoping for, than what you ever even thought of. So that's kind of what I learned. I feel like today in the youth, we all ask God for something. You know, I've asked God for lots of things that right now I don't have them. And sometimes I do get frustrated because I think if I've done everything right and I've been following the directions, why don't I have it yet? But God is getting me ready for something bigger. So the next time that you guys ask God for something and you don't receive it yet, just remember that your plans are one thing, but God's plans are a bigger and better thing, and your blessing is on its way. And maybe it's not going to come to you in the form that you've been praying for. Maybe it's going to be completely different, but God knows what he's doing, and it's going to be even better. So don't forget, your blessing is currently in a container right now, sitting in the fridge chilling, and the longer that it sits and the longer that you wait, then the bigger and greater the blessing is going to be. So that's what I want to leave you guys with today. Also, I finally finished my website. I mean, it's a work in progress, so I'm going to keep adding to it. But if you guys want more details over this subject, or if you want more details over last week's episode of Welding the Broken, the blogs are posted. I'll be posting the link to each blog in the description down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. And don't forget to share it with all your friends, because God's word is something that we all need to spread. And I feel like if this video touched you, it's going to touch a lot more people. So don't forget to share it with all your friends. I know there's somebody out there that needs to hear this right now. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications, the little bell, so that you guys never miss a video. So yeah, that's about it. I will see you guys in the next one.